sometimes get information through iClouds, correct?
I don't get information through iClouds.
Okay, you never use iCloud information
In this presentation,
in any presentation?
I have not, I don't recall a time where I've mapped iCloud information.
Would you agree with me that that is possible, though?
Yes, there's probably location information that comes from iCloud.
Were you provided in this particular case any kind of iCloud material?
I was not.
And you mentioned that you, sir, you carry a full FBI caseload in your official position with the FBI, correct?
I do.
Okay, as well as this is just additional work, your cast work, correct?
Not just additional work, it's important work, but yes, I do this in addition to my primary job.
And absolutely no disrespect meant. What I'm really getting at, though, is you've received specialized training to provide this service, correct?
I have, yes, ma'am.
And part of that training actually involved teaching you how to testify, correct?
That's correct, yes, ma'am.
That was kind of a specific component of your training in order to successfully complete it.
Yeah, we received about 4 hours of training on testifying.
And you mentioned, sir, that in most cases you do not know the details of the particular investigation when you're doing your cast type work, correct?
That's correct. Some information is provided. Sometimes in the request they'll say this is the crime scene, but from our standpoint, I have a lot of cases going on. I can't keep up with what is important. The detectives tell me what time and what locations are important, and then I provide them the analysis of what's relevant, what call events happen.
In this particular case, were you provided more details?
I may have been. I'm not sure. I know at some point I did have some files that had names on them, so I assume at some point there must have been something associating phone numbers, but again, I don't rely on any of that information in my analysis.
Thank you. I have nothing further, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Cross-exam for Mr. Robinson.
Yes, Your Honor. If I could have one moment, please.
Okay.
Agent, good morning. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Well, thank you. This will be brief. It's easier for me because I'm the last to go. So in general, your testimony, what you're telling these juries is that you can't say an exact location for the handsets, correct?
I cannot. No, that's
All right. In a nutshell, it could be in that location.
The locations provided are the serviceable area of a tower.
But and you've testified how you can get kicked from one sector to another, that they could also not be within that area, correct?
That's fine. I'm sorry. Can you repeat it one more?
All right, yeah, let's jump into it a little bit more. You talked about the cell sites, and let's use these monitors as an example.
Okay.
Jacksonville. So we have one cell site, one cell site.
Yes, sir.
Now, each one is a tower, is an antenna, and normally they have 3 sectors each, correct?
Correct.
Broken up like a peace symbol.
Correct.
All right. Now, there may be some redundancy where the connectivity, it overlaps, right?
That is accurate. Yes, sir.
And that makes sure that we can always have cell phone connection, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, if that tower's down, like Mr. Cooper, he's here with his phone, he's going to be on the southeast sector or in that area, but that antenna, that cell site, it's down, it's getting maintenance, it's broken, it's overloaded. Those are all reasons why I could kick to another one, right?
No. If you mentioned like 4 different reasons, so some are accurate, some are not. But if a tower is down and a phone is within the coverage area of that tower, the phone's not going to know that the tower's down or that it's not down. The phone doesn't know if a tower's overloaded or not overloaded. So if a tower's down, the phone's not going to see it, it can't connect to it. If a tower is overloaded and the phone decides that that's still the best signal, the phone doesn't know the tower's overloaded. So it's still going to attempt to connect to that tower. It doesn't have the logic to say, that tower's busy, I'm going to go to this tower over here. So it either connects or it doesn't connect.
Are you telling us our smartphones aren't smart?
I'm telling you that they don't have that capability. The networks themselves handle overload, and the examples of something being overloaded, again, these are multi-billion-dollar companies. They're not losing customers because they don't want to put up a $200,000 antenna. So
I don't want to lose these juries right now on the point that we were trying to hammer home, which is just, and perhaps we can agree on this, that the records, that doesn't definitively show that the handset was in that area. They could be in another area just connecting to that tower, to that sector, correct?
no, the handset has to be in a tower in the sector that it connects to. It can't be in another sector and connect to the usable area of another tower.
All right. So let's go to the next topic with respect to the handset. We can agree to disagree with respect to the sectors, but you can't say from what you have who has the handset, right?
No, sir.
My phone's on council table. If Ms. Kawaz, co-counsel, makes a phone call right now, that's not me doing it. We can agree on that.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
And you, as the FBI agent, as the expert, you have no information on who had each handset on that day, right?
I do not.
Now, you were provided records for a phone number ending in 1595, correct?
Yes, sir.
That phone number, and I'll refer to it as Mr. Robinson's phone,
Okay.
you can't place that anywhere in the vicinity of Merrill Road around 11 o'clock in the morning on January 15th, correct?
I mean, we would have to go back through the slides to go through a specific thing. Are you asking me on January, let me make sure I'm clear on it, January 15th at 11 o'clock, I don't know where that phone was.
Yes.
I only know where the phone was on the times that I depicted on the maps. So if we want to go back through it, I can answer that question, but if it wasn't on the map and you're aware of that, then I'm not saying that I could tell you. If it wasn't on the map, I don't know.
I'm going to come back to that question, and I'm going to have you do that, but I want to clear up one issue first.
Okay.
You were asked by the government on your direct examination why there was no events for the 1595 number, and you said that it's consistent with the phone being off.
Oh, that's correct. If that was in that time period, then yes, the phone would be off. I couldn't tell you where it was at.
You don't know the reasons why it would be off, right?
I don't know, sir.
Could it died?
Any number of reasons that a phone goes off, yes, I don't know.
Could have lost connection?
Yes, sir.
Could have been out of range?
It could have been off the network, so it would have to be in a very rural area, but yes, possible.
Now, you talked about the anomalies, the errors with AT&T records, correct?
The anomalies, yes.
And the 1595 number, Mr. Robinson's phone was an AT&T serviced phone, correct?
It was.
All right. Now, I'm going to have you go back through it. For the data events that you have for 1595, can you take a look, and once you're refreshed? then
Oh,
I'll
I'm
ask you-
sorry, no, 1595 is not an AT&T phone, is it?
Do you want to look at the records?
I do.
Or if I could have one moment.
All right.
Show the government if I can approach the agent.
Yes.
See the CDRs or the subscriber info.
Nope, that's fine. Okay, yep.
Did that help your memory?
Yes, sir.
Or AT&T, right?
Yes,
During the time frame when there was these anomalies, correct?
that's correct.
Now, asking the question again, and please take a look through your slides if need be. Do you place Mr. Robinson's phone, 1595, anywhere within the vicinity of Merrill Road the morning of January 15th?
I'm not sure where Merrill Road is without seeing it on the map. I can't move the map.
So,
Or I can get the binder, if you have the binder.
yeah, let's do that. Your Honor, if I can approach again?
Yes.
These. That's your report, right?
Yes, sir.
You have the ability to...
I can't move it. I don't think so.
Stay, can you change the page to... Page 8? Oh, that one's good. Actually, let's do page 8.
Page 8,
Please.
This one?
All right. So you plotted it in red.
Yes, sir.
All right. Could you do me a favor, draw a circle around the red, what we're talking about, the Merrill Road location? You following, Agent?
Yeah, yes, sir. Sorry.
You can actually draw on that screen.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're asking me. I'm sorry. Yes.
Draw a circle around it. All right. You were given call detail records from my client's phone, 1595.
Correct.
Do you place it in that area anytime during the morning of January 15th?
I have to see the records. I have to see the maps.
Your maps?
My maps, yes, sir. I don't have them memorized, especially for,
No, totally understand. Please take a look at it.
so you're asking, is the number ending in 1595 in the area of Merrill Avenue at what time, sir?
Anytime during the morning of January 15th, 2020.
No.
So just to be clear that we're on the right question, I asked you if you can plot the 1595 phone number, my client's cell phone, anywhere in the vicinity of Merrill Road the morning of January 15th, 2020.
No, the only event that I see mapped for 1595 is a phone call at 3:03 p.m. It's not near Merrill Road.
All right. Now, we're going to come back to 1595.
Okay.
But what you're telling me is that at 3 o'clock, it's nowhere near Merrill Road.
Sorry, is that not the number you asked me about, 1595?
It is.
Okay, yes, I just want to be clear, I'm sorry. Yes, that is the mappable event I have for 1595, is at 3:03, and it does not appear to be, or it is not near Merrill Road.
All right. Now, I want you to hold on to that because I'm going to come back to it.
Okay.
But right now, I just want to talk about not your experience, but you as a cell phone expert, as the FBI agent.
Okay?
If I have my iPhone here, if I were to make an Instagram phone call, can you explain to the jury how I'd have to be communicating with a tower to do that?
Through a data session.
Correct. So if I were to, right now, if I were to make an Instagram phone call, it would connect to one of the cell sites, one of the towers,
Correct.
and we would see that data event reflected on my cell phone records, correct?
No, you wouldn't see a specific event. So if you called at 12:05 p.m., there may be a data session that lines up with that call at 12:05. But there also could be a data session that started 30 minutes prior that is a 60-minute data session. Lots of different events, including your Instagram call, could happen through that data session that's already initiated. So there's no way to parse out exact things on data sessions. And even if it happened at the exact same time that an Instagram call showed on a phone log, we wouldn't testify that that's an Instagram call because we don't know what's happening in the data session. It very likely would be, but I wouldn't testify to that.
If there were an Instagram call,
Yes.
there would be some data session, understanding that it can be reflected either by a larger time frame or a smaller.
Yes, sir.
Something would be reflected in the call detail records, correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you asked to analyze the call detail records of 1595 for any data events?
Again, we do not map AT&T data sessions.
Now, we're not talking about mapping. We're just talking about locating them within the records. Were you asked to do that?
I mean, I reviewed some data sessions. I did it on the stand during the direct examination. So I've looked at the data sessions, but I didn't particularly, my job is to provide location analysis with the CDRs.
All right. So
I don't know if I did or not.
So you would not be testifying at all that there was a data session at around 11 a.m. for my client's 1595 phone number where he's making an Instagram call?
No, I'm not testifying to that. In fact, if it's the same one we looked at where there was a 5-hour period, which I think it was, then there was no data session in the records.
All right, so that would reflect that somebody was not making any Instagram calls during that time period, specifically around 11 a.m.
There would be no data, no, there's no data sessions.
What about the 9583 number, 478-305-9583? You plotted that, correct?
I did.
In your review of those records, the call detail records are a very small period of time, correct?
You mean that I mapped?
That you were provided.
Yes, sir.
Was there any indication in there, the records that you received, all the stuff that you received from the state, allowing you as the expert, the FBI expert, to say who that number belongs to?
No, again, I don't try to place phones in people's hands.
You have no testimony for this jury that that phone, the 478-305-9583, that phone in any way connects to my client, Mr. Robinson, correct?
I don't know who the user of that phone was, no, sir.
But there's nothing within there, sort of like if you were to review my call detail records and you see phone calls with Miss Ksoo'S, phone calls with father to coast, mother to coast, you'd be able to come to a determination it's consistent with it being Chris DeCoast's phone, right?
If I had all the records and then I subpoenaed all the rest of the subscribers on there and then I analyzed all of those things, I maybe could infer through logic that I saw a call to your mom, a call to your brother, a call to your daughter, a call to your job, and say that might be a likely phone for someone. But I don't have any of those records, and I did not do that in this case.
You're confined by what the government gives you.
Well, again, I'm not worried about who has the phones. My job is to say where the phones were and what the call detail records say. If there's subscriber information in there, then that could indicate that it belongs to somebody. But if not, I don't make an attempt to try to identify who the phone belongs to.
We're just talking about what could have been done, not saying that you didn't do something, just talking about what could have been done. Because let me finish with a question. I understand for you that the identity of who has the 9583 number wasn't part of the job, but for us in this courtroom, it's the entire case.
Okay.
Because that's a phone that's believed to have been in the possession of the shooter. So my question to you is, could the state have provided you with more records and made the request? Can you help us figure out who ties to this phone?
I'm not sure what requests or records they had, but yes, if they would have asked me, I would have looked at anything that they asked me to look at that I would have an opinion on.
The records that you reviewed for 9583, are you able to say that there was any data session around 11 a.m. the morning of January 15th consistent with an Instagram call?
No.
There's nothing in there, correct?
There were no data sessions in that time period.
Okay, so 1595 and 9583, neither of them have a data session right before 11 a.m. on January 15th.
My testimony is to the 1595 number. I don't have the data records in front of me. I'm happy to look at them if you have them.
Okay, so let's break this up. We've handled 1595.
Okay.
Okay, now we're at the 478-305-9583.
Okay.
That number. Do you need to look at those records to answer the question whether there was data sessions? If you do, I can provide it to you. You can refresh your recollection. I can ask again.
If it's not on the map, then yes, I would have to see the records to see if there is a data session, but it would be obvious in the records.
Second, Your Honor. I'll let Your Honor know I'm probably about 75% done.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I can approach?
Yes.
Agent,
Take a look at that. Let me know if that refreshes your recollection.
in the
11 a.m. Okay, I'm sorry, can you re-ask the question?
Data sessions
Okay,
prior to 11 a.m.
yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, there are.
There are data sessions prior to 11 a.m., but we're talking about certain periods of time. Are you just testifying in general that there are communications, or are you testifying that there's certain times?
You asked me data sessions before 11 a.m.
Correct.
Yes.
What times?
There appears to be data sessions from 8:49 all the way up until 10:58. That's UTC, so it's going to be 5.
Okay.
So I guess in local time between 5 and 6:32 a.m.
Okay. If I can approach.
Yes.
Oh, is this scroll? Sorry. There are data sessions between 8:12.
For the jury, are you testifying to UTC, or are you testifying to the
Eastern
converted?
time. I'm converting in my head, I'm sorry. It was 12:12 UTC, which is 7:12 Eastern time, all the way up until 17:25, which would be 12:25 local time.
You can't say that that's consistently throughout that time communicating with the data session, just that there are connections within that time, right?
Correct.
Approach.
Yes.
Now, Agent, with respect to 1595 and 9583, and now we're talking about plotting. All right, and let me know if you need to take a look at the records again.
Okay.
The 9583 number, the records that you were just looking at, you can plot that in the general area of Merrill Road up until about 12:45 Eastern Standard Time.
I'm sorry. The 9583 number is what we're talking about now?
Yes.
9583, it is in the general area of Merrill Road at 10:17 a.m.
Agent, we're just talking about 12:45. If you need to take a look at the records.
12:45.
Agent, instead of looking at the records, do you not remember if there was an event at around 12:45 and that you'd be able to place it? Would it refresh your recollection and take a look at the records?
Sure.
Maybe take a look at the very last lines.
Okay.
We're asking about 12:45 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Is the 9583 number communicating with a cell site in the vicinity of Merrill Road?
Well, okay, I want to clarify. Are you asking me about the point that I have drawn on here, which is 701 Merrill Road, or Merrill Road in general?
I'm not asking you, focus on the computer.
Yes, it's
I'm not
in
asking you
the
about your-
vicinity of Merrill Road.
Okay, so 12:45 Eastern Standard Time, 9583, the shooter's phone, is in the area of Merrill Road.
12:40 p.m., it is near Merrill Road, yes.
A little bit later than 12:40 p.m. Can you give the exact time?
12:48.
Okay. Now, you know when you're all set.
I'm all set.
All right, 1595. Do you have any locations in and around 1248 for the 1595?
No, sir.
If I were to show you the
call detail records for 1595.
Could there be a point?
Or you ask me, is there something I didn't map?
Well, yes. So to save the suspense, there's an event at right after 1 o'clock for 1595.
Okay.
Did you plot that?
The only call that I plotted was at 3:03 PM for 1595.
All right, but what we're talking about at, do you have the 1595 records in front of you?
I do not, no, sir.
State. Pages 3 and 4.
I can approach.
Yes.
Sorry.
Take a look at pages 3 and 4. I'll re-ask the question.
Okay.
There's an event right around 1 o'clock, right?
These are data records. We don't map AT&T data records. There's no events mapped for AT&T data records anywhere in my report. So there is an event that happens at 1:10.
And those records contain a latitude and longitude, correct?
They do, yes, sir.
Right. So that will give us a location, something.
Yes.
Can you tell where that location is from the latitude and longitude?
I cannot.
If I were to tell you that it was way north near Old Soul Donuts, would that seem correct?
I have no idea where it's at. I don't know where Old Soul Donuts is or where the latitude is. We can map it on, we can pull up on Google and map it.
So you could pull up on Google and map that latitude and longitude.
I can map this latitude and longitude. I would not put any weight behind what AT&T was providing in 2020. So we did not map records in 2020.
Understand? It's all we have
Yes.
to be able to map it. So why don't you, and feel free to use my computer. It should be connected. If your honor is okay with that, you can map those live right here.
Is there any objection?
I don't have an objection.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, what was the reference to location?
All right, so you plotted the location, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll go back to your map and you can just generally point out where it is. So You circled Merrill Road before, so that would be consistent with the location of the 9583 number, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, so now if you could circle where the 1595 number is the known phone of my client several minutes later.
So, I'm sorry, I don't.
So you're going to see Quarantine Island right
Yep,
there.
Yep, so it's somewhere right above here. Is that fair?
Maybe a little bit higher, but we'll say in that general vicinity.
Okay,
That's where you, in understanding the concern that you have about the reliability of AT&T records, we have what we have. You plot that where he's, the 1595 number is north.
yes, sir.
And your knowledge of Jacksonville, that's miles north.
Yes,
Now, let's stay on the 1595 number, my client's number. Within the call detail records, right before the murder, right after the murder, do you have any communications between that phone and the other phones that you were asked to plot?
sir, I can't make assertions on what it is without seeing the records. I cannot memorize these records, it's not possible.
I understand. I'm not asking you to.
Okay.
And we have it here, and that's why I have the computer up if I need to show it to you. But if there was a communication between two of the phones, you would have put that on some of your maps?
If there was mappable location data for the device, I would have put it on my map and I would have included the calls that it was talking to.
Now, do me a favor, look to page 1 of your report. You were asked by the government, and again, for fairness to the jury, when I'm asking questions about plotting it, I know that you don't know the facts of the case and you're just plotting the data that you're given by the government. So I don't mean that to come off like an accusation that you didn't plot something.
Right, and I'm not, I'm just trying to let you know I can't memorize everything. Okay, page 1,
Yeah, so you were asked to plot 904, 485, 72, what's that number?
all right, I'm on page 1, 904,
485, it's right on the ball.
7529.
You received records for that phone number?
I did.
They don't ask you questions like the subscriber information and stuff like that, right?
So the subscriber information was likely provided with the records. I don't generally pull it up and look at it unless I'm specifically asked that for trial purposes.
All right, now the number that you were given to plot was 7529, correct?
Correct.
And the records that we have for Natalie Gant are 7259, not 7529.
Okay. I mean, that could be a typo in my report.
But it could also be an error by the government.
Yes, I guess, either way.
At the end of the day, you don't plot any locations for the number 7529, correct?
I did not.
But you don't know sitting here whether there are plottable records for Natalie Gant's known phone of 904 485 7259.
The records that were provided to me, there weren't any information to map in the time period and the locations.
Now, conclusion, you're confined on your plotting to what the government gives you, correct?
I would say that I map whatever records are given, I ingest those and I do it, but my analysis my analysis focuses on the time period and the locations the government gives me.
You're not sending out subpoenas yourself to collect records.
No, sir.
Did they provide you records for Chris Brown?
I don't know names associated with phone numbers, sir.
But all the records that they provided to you are contained within your report.
Correct.
One moment, Your Honor.
Yes. Is there any redirect?
Yes, ma'am. I have a moment.
Yes.
Judge, I just want to talk about a couple of points. Actually, Judge, Judge, I apologize. Can I have 5 minutes before redirect? I just need to check on something.
Okay. Like to excuse the jury?
So can we just take a quick bio break?
Okay. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to leave your notepads on your seats and have us step into your jury room for just a brief recess. We'll call you. counsel for the state. Are all sides ready to bring the juries back out and proceed with the examination of this witness?
State's prepared.
All right, let's get the juries lined up and back out to the courtroom. Thank you. Okay.
Your Honor, the jury is entering the courtroom.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may take your seats while we await Mr. Whitaker's jury.
Your Honor, jury now in the courtroom.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may take your seats. All right, State, you may proceed with redirect.
Thank you. Agent Corley, you were asked on cross-examination about receiving information from an iCloud. In some instances, can you receive what are called native location information points from an iCloud account?
Yes, you can receive location. I'm not sure of the exact title without having the records in front of me, but you can receive various different types of location information from iCloud.
Importantly, when it comes to an iCloud account, what you can receive is contingent upon what a person chooses to back up.
Correct.
Okay, so if somebody doesn't back up their location data, you don't have location data.
That's correct.
You were asked about going through the call records and determining who a phone belongs to based on who they made the call. Are there other ways to determine who a phone belongs to?
Yes.
You can look through the phone itself for the accounts that are registered to the phone.
That is a possibility, yes.
Look through the photographs to determine who's taking selfie pictures.
Yes.
You were asked about the data sessions on the 9583 number. Can you see them on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so that we're going through it, your testimony is consistent with the records. There are data sessions basically all morning on the 15th, right?
Correct.
So just for instance, that's 13:27, so we subtract 5, so that's 8:30 about?
8:27:32, yes, sir.
Okay, and then going forward at we've got 10, 10:20, almost 11 o'clock there. Going forward, 11:30, there's data sessions all morning.
Yes, sir.
And I want to walk through that phone again to show where it was. There's only a couple of mappable points of data that you have for that phone, right?
Yes, sir.
So, starting here for the 9583 number, it is interacting with the tower that services the homicide location. Well, you don't know, but the 7001 Merrill Road.
Yes, sir.
And then after that, it's going to move down south to about where 1033 is, so the tower that services that area.
That's correct, yes, sir.
And then after that,
All right, sustained. If you'll rephrase your questions.
where is the 9583 number at between 11:30 and 11:51?
It is sitting over the tower that would most likely service 1033 Townsend Boulevard.
Okay. And then the next data point that you have for that phone, in slide 16, where is that phone now?
It's sitting off this tower here in this area, right below Arlington Hills.
Mr. DeCoste asked you on cross-examination that you did not map anything for the 1595 number in this relevant time period. You can't say where that number was.
I did not map it, no, sir.
Okay. But you've reviewed the records, right?
Correct.
So let's look at the call records here. So start on. This is the page we started with the call records, right? Page 1.
Yes, sir.
There's one call here at about 11:02. Does that phone connect to a tower, that call?
No, sir.
Okay. Why would a phone not connect to a tower when somebody tries to call it?
It could be off. It could be, again, there could be things disrupting its connection to the network. Most likely it's generally when it's off.
Okay. And then we already talked about it down here, but we have data sessions going to about 7:11 a.m.
Correct?
and then nothing else until,
Yeah, sustained.
when is the next time that we have data sessions?
1:10:44 p.m.
Okay. Nothing between those two times? Is there anything between those two times?
There is not.
And then this, what is this page?
This is the SMS records.
Okay, so like text messages?
Yes, sir.
Are any of these connecting to a tower?
No, sir.
Why would a phone not receive SMS text messages?
Most likely explanation is because all these events are incoming, that the phone is off.
Mr. DeCoste asked you to map a point at 1:10 in the afternoon on the north side from the AT&T records. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
And your testimony earlier was that you don't feel comfortable because the AT&T records are only 95 to 98% accurate.
Again, there were known anomalies within the AT&T records at that time, which caused us to choose not to map those records.
But for Mr. DeCoste, you just took this latitude and longitude and plugged it into Google Maps.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's do it a couple more times. Let's start at line 27. So that's 1:15:20, and that's at 5:18 in the morning.
That's correct.
And again, these are for the 1595 records, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is our latitude and longitude here.
Of the tower used. Yes, sir.
All right. So that's 30.34257 and minus 81541978, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I type that in, 30.4257, 4257.
Objection, Your Honor.
The grounds?
The expert could plot these.
Okay.
Judge, I'm not doing anything differently than Mr. DeCoste did. I can ask the expert to come up here and map them himself if the court would like.
All right. He can do that, or yes, then he will have to because he doesn't have a laptop to do it here. But be sure, Agent, when you go to that device, you speak loudly into the microphone so that the court reporter and I can hear you and that the jury can hear you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You are free to reposition yourself to the evidence cart. And both counsel are free to reposition themselves to also view what is occurring.
Okay, so line 27, I got notepad, paper, line 27, if you can map that for us. Got it there. Okay, so we're about at 2:95 or so at that point in the morning?
Yes, sir.
And that's,
All right, re-ask your question.
where is he at that point in the morning?
He is right near 295 and Monument Road. Well, I'm sorry, the tower is located, that was used for that data session at that location.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you to map number 29 for me. I'm sorry. The number that you mapped?
Objection, counsel and the witness.
Is that the number that you?
Counsel and the witness.
I'm sorry, what? I haven't heard anything. What are you saying?
Hear it over here. We can approach sidebar.
Just asked him if that's the number that he mapped.
All right. I don't think we need to approach sidebar, but let the witness go ahead and map the coordinates.
I can have him. All right. Have him. So what you just mapped was number 29.
Correct.
That's at 5:33:19 Eastern Standard Time,
Yes.
and that is approximately where? Here.
Yeah, near 212 and Ryer Road. I'm not familiar with Jacksonville enough to say what area that is.
Okay. Can you see here on the screen where it says Hogan Road?
Yes.
Okay. And going back to your PowerPoint, here at 5:26 in the morning, where was the 624-3684 number and the 702-918-4911 number?
Appears to be in the same general area.
Okay, the same area?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to ask you to map number 40. And that's at about 5:55 a.m.
6:55 a.m.?
Sorry, 6:55 a.m. Zooming in a little bit. See where it says Palm Lake Drive here,
I do, yes, sir.
kind of at the 295, 95 interchange up on the north side?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to go back to the other records, and that was all for the 1595 number, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The 478-305-9583. Looking here at about, is that 6:17 a.m.,
Yes, sir.
6:22 a.m.?
Sir.
What time is it at 3:19?
Just a moment. What was the objection?
I'll rephrase.
Okay.
In line 319 at 6:52 a.m., what is the address of the tower for the 5983 records?
9583 records are at 12035 Palm Lake Drive.
Okay, and will you map that for us? But will you show the distance between the last one and this one? So based on the AT&T records, the 1595 number is about in the same area as the 478 number that you just mapped,
Correct.
around the same time. And then, again, at what time does it appear to you that the 1595 number is powered off, based on the records?
Objection, mischaracterization of the testimony is powered off.
That it no longer is reporting any data files, or phone calls, or text messages.
There appears to be no activity between 7:11 a.m. Eastern Time and 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you. You can take your seat. Special Agent, based on the mapping that you just did in front of the jury here, is it your opinion that the 1595 phone is in this area around the same time, about 5:30 in the morning?
Yes, sir.
And is it your opinion that it is then up near that Eastport Road at about approximately 6 a.m. that morning?
Yes, sir.
And then it is, or I guess 6:55, you said.
Yes, sir.
And then your opinion is that the phone is no longer, the 1595 number is no longer reporting any more data from 7:10 a.m. until 1 something in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think it was a 7:11 a.m. to 1:10 p.m.
But that the 1595 phone is in the same Eastport area as the 478 number around that time zone.
Yes.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, may this witness be excused? All right, thank you, sir. You're excused and free to go. All right, State, you may call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor, if it pleases the court, state will call Shalonda Adams.
Ms. Adams, please. All right, ma'am, if you'll come forward and be sworn. All right, be sure to speak loudly, clearly, and closely into those two microphones. State, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Adams. Please introduce yourself to both juries.
My name is Shalonda Adams.
What do you do for a living?
I work for Jacksonville Sheriff's Office as a latent print examiner.
How long have you worked for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
I worked there for 19 years.
Go ahead.
4 years with the latent print unit as a latent print examiner and 15 years in identification unit as a fingerprint technician.
So explain to the jury your progression through the Sheriff's Office. What do you do in ID and records? And then I guess you were promoted to be a latent print examiner. Explain that to the jury.
In ID and records, that's where we were trained to read and classify fingerprints. And after that, I moved up to the latent print examiner's office to where we have to process evidence based off of, fingerprints off of evidence.
And are you one of the supervisors in that unit?
Yes.
Explain to the jury what training and you received from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office that allows you to come into courts like this and testify.
Well, we do online courses, we attend classes, and then we also go to conferences where we also have annual testing.
Is that referred to as proficiency examinations?
Yes, it is.
Explain to the jury how that's accomplished.
It's just submitted to us every year through the state.
So we'll explain a little bit more detail, like do they give you known and unknown samples and you have to either identify or not identify, things like that?
There are unknown samples that we have to identify.
And during the course of your 19 years, did you receive mentorship from the latent print examiners that were employed at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
Yes,
Do you watch what they do and kind of follow in their footsteps?
yes.
Explain the science of fingerprint examination.
You said the science of fingerprint examination as to,
Well, like, it's obviously, I think the jury's familiar with the concept that fingerprints are unique. Is that true?
that's true.
So how does an examiner go about looking at unknown fingerprints and determining whether they match or do not match somebody?
You have to look at the different characteristics in each fingerprint with the minutia, the delta. It's the characteristics of the fingerprints that you have to be aware of and have to look at the similarities in that.
And how long has this science been accepted universally in our world?
I don't know exactly how long it goes back.
At least for the 19 years that you've
Yes.
been in the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
That's correct.
And have you been allowed to testify in courts like this about your opinion about whether an unknown print matches a known print?
Yes.
All right, this time I would tender the witness as an expert in the field of latent print examination.
Any additional questioning from Defendant Whitaker?
No, Your Honor.
And from Defendant Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
So explain to the jury what a latent print is.
A latent print is a chance impression. It's an unintentional print that's left on the items after touching after direct contact.
And how does a print get left behind? What's the mechanism?
Just by touching the item.
Is there anything in your body that you leave behind that makes it more or less likely for a latent print to be left behind?
Yes, like the sweat glands and the oil in your fingerprints.
Okay, and that's kind of what you're leaving behind is the oils of your body?
Yes.
Are there things that can interfere with the ability of a latent print to be left behind?
Yes, if you're wearing gloves, if your hands are too sweaty, if they're too dry, and then like the surface material of the item.
So it can be from the person leaving the latent print, meaning gloves, too sweaty, things like that, too dry.
Yes,
And also it can interfere with the object itself.
yes.
Explain that, how the object itself can interfere with leaving behind a latent print.
It just depends on if the object is rusty or if it's dirty, then it won't pick up the friction rigid details in your fingers.
Does the nature of the surface, like smooth versus rough, play a factor?
Yes, it does.
And how does that play a factor?
The rough surfaces, you won't be able to leave a fingerprint, but the smooth surfaces is more likely a chance you will.
How are latent prints, let me ask you this, are there environmental factors, if a latent print is left behind, that can interfere with the latent print's recovery?
Yes, it is environmental factors, like the humidity, if it's left outside, if it's not in a controlled environment.
Like rain,
Yes,
heat?
yes,
What about wiping it?
yes, correct.
So all those things you've described for the jury, what, is there a mechanism and techniques that you use or people in the field use, like crime scene detectives, to preserve and enhance latent fingerprints?
Yes, probably like the chemical processing that we use when we look at fingerprints to determine if it's fingerprints on the item.
So, for example, the jury may be familiar with something called black powder, where you take a brush and you,
Yes,
is that a common technique used in your field?
yes, it is.
What are some of the other ones, specifically, what are the ones that were used in this case?
In this case, we use rhodamine,
Say that again?
rhodamine,
All right, explain that.
fluorescent dye stain. So once you actually, after the item is processed, you apply the rhodamine to the item, and it dries. And then once you look at it under the alternate light source, the rhodamine, it flashes fluorescence. The fingerprint comes up fluorescent.
How was this item that we're going to talk about and say, how was it processed before you did that?
You said, how is it processed? Through a super glue chamber.
All right, that's why. So how does super glue help forensic analysts look at fingerprints?
It's a chamber that you apply super glue, you apply water. Once it heats up, it forms a gas. That gas goes over the actual items, and where it's a fingerprint residue, that gas sits on top of that item. And then that's where the fluorescent dye stain comes in next.
So did you do, or a fellow latent print examiner do the super glue?
A fellow examiner,
Okay.
yes.
And is it common for latent print examiners to follow each other in cases?
Yes,
Okay. And in this case, there were 2 prior latent print examiners, both of which have retired.
yes,
So you were the third.
yes.
Ms. Adams, if I could just ask to you to sit a little closer to the microphone, a request has been made that you're speaking a little softly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. So going back to, did you perform your own independent examination of the item in this case?
Yes, I did.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes,
May I continue to approach without asking?
yes.
I'm showing you what's been introduced into evidence. This case is at 205. Do you recognize this item?
Yes, I do.
And is it your initials on the firearm as well as your prior print examiner's initials on this item?
Yes, it is.
And because of that, was a photograph taken of the latent print that was discovered on this item?
Yes,
So both juries can see it. Is that notated on the firearm in such a way so we can know where the latent print came from?
yes, it should be a scale that's listed, that's next to the fingerprint.
And in this particular case, let's see, if I tilt it just right. Is that the scale you're talking about,
Yes,
Ms. Adams? Okay. And so that would indicate that the latent fingerprint was discovered on the slide of the firearm?
yes,
Is that portion of the firearm smooth?
yes, it is.
Is it common in your training experience to examine firearms in that particular location for latent prints?
Yes,
As opposed to the handle, which is rough?
correct.
Makes sense. Okay. And was a photograph taken of that?
Yes, it was.
Showing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 9J for identification. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes,
And is there notation on the back of that photograph?
yes, it is.
And does this fairly and accurately represent the latent print photograph taken from the slide of 205?
Yes,
What do you do with that latent print that you take? Do you put it under the microscope?
yes.
How do you do the comparison? Explain that for the
But a comparison it was a manual comparison that was done.
Okay, explain how you do that to the jury.
Well, that comparison was done based on the fingerprints that was taken in court from the known standards. And that was compared to the actual photograph.
And so you came to court and took Hakeem Robinson's known prints.
Yes,
And I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as State's 9I for identification. Is that you?
yes, it is.
And you took the fingerprints of Hakeem Robinson?
Yes,
Was this counsel present? Remember that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you see Mr. Robinson here in court?
Yes, I do.
And could you say where he's seated and what he's wearing?
A tan suit, the back far row. And the center,
I'm sorry. May the record request the witnesses identified the defendant.
Okay, the record shall so reflect.
Your Honor, at this time I would introduce into evidence the pre-marked exhibits as they're pre-numbered.
Okay, so that's 9A and 9J.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection from Defendant Whitaker? Any objection from Defendant Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, without objection, 9I will be marked into evidence as States Exhibit 217. 9J shall be marked into evidence as States Exhibit 218.
And so, latent print examiner Adams, when you take the latent photograph print taken from 205, the firearm, and Hakeem Robinson's known prints, what was the opinion you were able to make?
They were a match.
A perfect match. Your Honor, that's all the questions I have.
Okay, any cross-exam from Mr. Whitaker? All right, any cross-exam from Mr. Robinson?
Morning, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. 1 second to get organized here. Talk about fingerprints. This firearm that has a fingerprint on it, can you say when that print was placed on there?
No, sir.
Could have been days,
Could have been.
could have been weeks,
It could have been.
could have been months.
Could have been.
In your expertise, do you have any way? I can use the Elmo.
Yes?
Use this. Document camera. All. Photograph from your evidence. Sure. Now, ma'am, do you have any way of saying that my client, who, this is one of his many music videos, whether he touched one of his friend's firearms in that music video?
You said, do I have a way of saying?
So let me re-ask that question. That was a poor question. You have this firearm, it's found inside of a vehicle on January 15th, 2020. Do you have any evidence that disproves that my client's fingerprint was placed on the firearm in a music video weeks or months prior?
No.
Now, were you asked to reevaluate any prints taken from a vehicle?
The only prints I was asked to reevaluate was from that item.
All right, so, for example, if I happen to have been in a four-door vehicle, right? I've been in it, maybe for an hour, sitting maybe in the front passenger seat or the rear passenger seat. I'm getting in and out of the vehicle, standard vehicle, It's got handles that I got to open if I'm rolling down the window, if I'm putting on a seatbelt, if I'm opening the door, closing the door. That has a potential of leaving fingerprints, correct?
Correct.
Like, for example, this podium. If you were asked to evaluate this podium after I do the cross-examination, there's a very good chance there could be prints on this because it's a surface that's good for leaving prints. Is that correct?
Yes, correct, yes.
Things like glass, metal, and plastic are also good for leaving prints, right?
Yes, correct.
You weren't asked to evaluate if my client's fingerprints were lifted off of a vehicle that was used in this case, were you?
No, I wasn't.
One brief moment, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Is there any redirect?
No, Your Honor, and this witness may be excused.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You are excused and free to go.
Thank you.
State, do you have another shortest witness that we might be able to do before lunch?
We have the phone examiner, which will probably be like the cell phone examiner, probably equal time,
Okay.
so we don't have a short witness.
Then we will go ahead and take our lunch recess now, ladies and gentlemen. It is 11:50 almost, and so I'm going to ask that you leave your notepads behind. We're going to lock them, secure them. We'll return them to you when we reconvene. You know the drill. You are free to eat lunch separately, eat lunch together, but whatever you do, you're not to talk about this case among yourselves or with anyone else, or allow anyone to say anything to you or in your presence about the case. And if anyone attempts to approach you, immediately report the matter to one of my bailiffs, and they, of course, will notify me. It is important to remember that this case has to be tried by you only in your collective presence and only based on the facts that come out during trial and in the presence of the defendants, the attorneys, and this court. So please be very mindful of that. Additionally, we will return your electronic devices for your use during lunch, but again, do not read, watch, or listen to any news reports that you might come across on your telephones. So with that, we'll be back here at